And I'll share the screen now.
Yeah. So good evening, everyone. So thank you for joining us here. Hi, we can say new faces today. So before starting us, let me give you a quick glimpse about what is Zero Pro to all the new joinees here. So Zero Pro is a growing people's community where people can join us and network together and learn about different stuffs together. Also, we will do career guidance, and we are also doing every weekends an event. So this week we are having etiquette, and we'll know about what is etiquette. So previous shows we are having we have conducted quiz shows, book shows, and talks, debate, etc. So that's a quick intro about Zero Pro. I welcome you all to the show etiquette. So before jumping into the show, let's have a quick intro about all the participants we are having here. So let's start with Abhishek Rajvelu. Hi Abhishek.
Yeah, Ashok, I had a one problem. So while I'm sharing, I couldn't admit people.
Okay, just stop sharing now and let's admit people. And
So we may not know when people will leave and when may know will join. So maybe you can sign in my account.
okay, just stop your screen now. I'll just have a quick intro about participants and meanwhile we'll figure out.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah. So, Abhishek Rajvelu, hi. I think it's not here. Okay. So, hi Rajesh, can we have an intro about yourself?
Yeah, very good evening to one and all. This is Rajesh, Assistant Professor, Vidya Jyoti Institute of Technology, Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering.
Hi. Actually, we
Hi.
didn't know your Thank you for joining us here. Actually, myself and Kalevani are triple E graduates, so thank you for joining us here. So, we have Alamelu. Hi, Alamelu.
Hi Harshit. Hi everyone. This is Alamelu, 2021 passed out and currently working with TCS as a tester. And this is my third time with this Zero Pro. And and congrats Arshak and Kalai for taking such a great initiative. And that's it.
Thank you so much, Alamelu. Yeah, it's really nice to seeing you back in our shows. It's really encouraging us. So let's go to Bhubalan. Hi, Bhubalan.
Yes,
Hi,
I am
Bhubalan.
Bhupalan from 22 to 2022 batch, Production Engineering, Government College of Technology.
Yeah, thank you for joining us, Bhubalan. So hope you'll get to know what etiquette is. So Chandrasekhar, hi.
Hi, bro.
Yeah,
I guess I failed the first lesson in kids. I'm a little bit late. Sorry for the delay.
yeah, no problem.
Wanted to join.
Yeah, thank you for joining us today. So we have Udaya. Hi, Udaya. Udaya, can you hear us? Okay.
So
Okay.
let's.
So let's move to Mega. Hi, Mega.
Hello.
Hi. Thank you for joining us again. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. Myself, Megha. I'm completed B in electronic branch from Cummins College of Nagpur. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, Mega. So we'll have a quick intro about Rakshana. Hi, Rakshana. We've seen you after a long time.
Hello, hi everybody. Hope all of you are doing good. I'm Rakshana and I'm a 2021 pass out from SSN College of Engineering.
Yeah, okay. So thank you, Rakshana. Thank you for joining us today. So we'll start the show. Yeah,
Yeah, Ashok, I
I'll
have
yeah
changed
yeah
the setting. Maybe I can present the screen.
yeah. You can proceed with it. I'll sign in with your account. So I can,
Okay. So shall I present?
yeah.
So hi everyone. Today we are talk about etiquette. So we all know, maybe we all know what is etiquette, but we may not know so how important it is. Simply, we could say wherever we are going. So, if we relate with the movie, in Kuruvi movie, Trisha and Vijay will have a conversation. Like Trisha would tell Vijay, like, so I'm going to find a man with, so who earlier day he came to a party. So, அவங்க சொல்லுவாங்க, maybe most of the people know Tamil here. ஒவ்வொரு மாஸ்கோ சம்திங் டைலாக் சொல்லிட்டு ஸோ ஒவ்வொரு மூமெண்ட்லயும் அட்ராக்ட் பண்றாங்க. ஸோ தட்ஸ் லைக் etiquette and all the things. What are the things that we are doing in walking and speaking and our hand movements, gestures, and all the things, etiquette will play a role. Mainly, this may be a first impression. So I would not deny living at our own convenience, but உலகம் ஒரு நாடக மேடை அப்படி சொல்ற மாதிரி. So depends on the situations we had to behave and we had to adapt to that particular situations. That's how the etiquette is very important, and in upcoming slides we have compiled it very clearly, and we have split it into many types of etiquettes. By knowing all those things, maybe we could realize wherever we have done the mistake, wherever we created an embarrassing moment, and wherever we have the places in future that we have to correct it. Like that, maybe we can look into it ourselves. At the end of the show, all we want here is the people should know the value of etiquette and how we have to cultivate this habit and improvise in our day-to-day life. So that is what the motive of this show. Even we may not know much more about etiquette, and since we are a fresh grad of college graduates, and we may experience many things, but the show and will what is the motto of the show means everyone should know the value of this etiquette. So that's what I really and we really, so actually speaking, Zero Pro really wanted to make an impact on the show. That is what. In today's world, wherever we are, either it may be a virtual, it may be a offline, online, whatever it may be, in-person conversation, everything would, even our sound. So, in what tone we are speaking, in what language, in what how we are using pleasing words, and it all depends on. So, in the opposite person should feel convenient and should feel comfortable. So that's how the etiquette will play a major role. So let's start. As I told already, we all know what is etiquette and why it is important also, but just by saying we may not know why it is important. Maybe with the many scenarios, and when we connect with it, it is with our real life stories, we can able to realize and relate why the etiquette is so much important.
Yeah, so let's get on to it. Manners is a two-way street. So we all know that, like, apart from knowledge, apart from what are the skills you possess, it's manners what you make a man or a woman. So you should have the manners, and people should know that, okay, so even you had nothing to lose or nothing to gain, or even you have nothing to show off, if you reacted or acted really well, or like in front of people, if you showed like your quality, people would be really appreciating or really think great about you, and it really makes a good impression among you. So maybe you may feel like, okay, இந்த பையன் okay நல்லா பேசுனாங்கல்ல, இல்ல இந்த பொண்ணு கூட okay, I felt comfortable talking. So even it may be a business related talks or corporate talks or work related talks, anything it can be, but you should make other people convenient, and you should be like making them feel like, okay, that's a good way. So let's go on to the next slide. So etiquette is like it's not limited to these 6 types of etiquettes. It's a really big concept and really big topic to talk about. Maybe we can talk about it a whole day, and most of us know about the general basics of etiquette. So, but to give you a glimpse about what etiquette is, and to sort out the main type of etiquette, we have classified into 6 types of etiquettes, and we'll be talking about it. It's social etiquette, corporate etiquette, dining etiquette, email etiquette, telephonic etiquette, and bathroom etiquette. So these are the 6 etiquettes we feel like it's important. So yeah, actually, Kalevani, you can sign in with your mobile phone your account, so it may not be a problem for you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So these are the types of etiquette we have now. So move on to the next slide, please. So yeah, so coming to the social etiquette. So this is social etiquette. We all know what a social etiquette is. I mean, may some of you might have some idea about. So it's time for the participants to answer some of the social etiquette you may be aware of. If anyone want to give some points, you can give, and we will explain later. So participants, you can unmute and you can tell if you have any idea about social etiquette. Okay. So yeah, let me Chandrasekhar, please go ahead.
While speaking with someone else, we should always make sure that we don't spray while speaking with them. And also in public places, while speaking, our tone and the voice level should be in a proper way that we don't make others feel bad about us or it shouldn't hurt them. So communication style is important in social places. I guess.
Exactly, well said, Chandrasekhar. Yeah, that's important point, and that also comes under social etiquette. So mainly social etiquette is not limited to anything. It also include corporate business and everything. But social etiquette generally teaches you how to be confidently navigate, even when you're talking with the strangers or your parents or your friends or your colleagues or your classmates, everyone. You should follow the social etiquette. So, Kalevani, can you go to the next slide?
Yeah.
So yeah, as said, your values become your destiny. So even you might have heard the terms like he's so skillful, but he's not at all mannered. He's not at all disciplined. Because if you are disciplined, everything comes as natural. So you might have said like அந்த பையன் ரொம்ப நல்ல பையன் இல்ல வீட்டுல பக்கத்து வீட்டுல சொல்லுவாங்க அந்த பையன் ரொம்ப நல்ல பையன் இல்ல நீ ஏன் இப்படி இருக்க so everyone would have faced the situation, right? So exactly what social etiquette that means. So it refers to the behavior, how you behave and how you portray yourself to the society. So and practicing social good manners not only helps you to build lifelong relationship, it also helps you create fruitful opportunities. Because if you want to try something out, or if you're looking for opportunities, and if you connect with people, so the first impression is the best impression. We all know that, right? So the first impression will be getting from the way you speak or the way you connect. So from there, if the other person feels really comfortable, he or she may provide you the opportunity you are looking for, or even the opportunities you may not believe you will get. So let's move on to the next slide. So a glimpse of social ethics. So as Chandrasekhar said, communication is a key in social ethics. So apart from that, when you are talking to a stranger, if you are getting to know their name, just remember their name. It would be really helpful and really like convenient for them to speak, and they will feel it really personal and welcoming. So you should use pleasing words like thank you, sorry, please, excuse me whenever you want. It's not at all depends on your prestige issue and all. Just please, in corporate or in everything, you should follow these pleasing words, correct? So in social etiquette, we have face-to-face etiquette. That's what Chandrasekhar said, communication. So, and we have virtual meeting etiquette. So like we are having Zero Pro is having a virtual meeting etiquette today. So for giving a current example for this, when I asked the participants to speak, Chandrasekhar first rose his hand before unmuting himself and speaking, because he knows maybe some of all the other participants can also unmute themselves and talk parallelly, so it would cause some disturbance. So that's an example I can quote with this current scenario. So then we have social media etiquette. That's a really big topic, and that's really important. We all know how to behave in a social media and how to do while commenting or while posting pictures and all, and how to behave in social media while talking to other person. So professionalism and ethic should be carried on throughout what you are doing. So let's move on to the next topic.
So, yeah, corporate etiquette. And when it comes to this, most of the people on a global, around 50% of the people are exposed or supposed to work in a corporate situation or corporate environment. So, in that case, it is very important to get a what to say, to get a outlook and to get a good out frame and to portray ourselves as good as possible. So this is one of the most important etiquette that we all should know. And many things we may not aware that only people, there would be a great transition when it comes to the people of college fresh grads. So that is completely different from an normal studying environment to corporate environment. That will be a great transition, and the people should know many things about the corporate etiquette. And they're without knowing all those things, just simply going and others can mock us, or we may get into any embarrassing situations, or we unknowingly make fun anything, so that may happen. So this is one of the most important etiquette that I could feel. So everything when it comes to a new place, and we may feel even if we are many unknowingly we may supposed to do any what to say, unknowingly we may supposed to do whatever the things that we already know, but the situation demands, and we will be in a very composed and kind of people we are in a like something different people in a common environment. So that's how it will be happen for many people, but who are all some people have a natural capability, and some would adapt to the situation, depends on by looking at, and naturally that's what easy for anyone, but that's not easy for other people. Example, not only with the behaving, some of the hidden meanings and rules also there in corporate etiquette, and we may not be aware, and only by experiencing or either by contacting with any people or any guidance through which only we can know many corporate etiquettes. So just as an example, beyond and apart the body gestures and body languages and the way of speaking, the way of walking, and with the way we are dressing, and apart all those things, and apart the technical and all those things, some are hidden meanings also. As an example of it, so this is a real scenario that happened to me actually. So here in this text, you could see, hello XXX, can you please redo the YY training again? And he ended with a thanks. So that is also one of the part. So we should always, our conversation should always please the opposite side person. That's how it should be. And here, yeah, sure, is it. So don't be angry, XX. So anyone here can tell me why the person telling don't be angry, XX. What's the reason that, what is the reason behind this? Why he's telling like this? Can anyone guess?
Like, yeah, like
Mhm.
I'm not sure, but
Okay.
here you used yeah, sure, it's in capital.
Yeah.
Like there might something that like while we use capital letters, it is a form of angry, I think.
Yeah. So yeah, thanks, Alameda. Thanks for the nice put up here. Yeah. So obviously correct. So what I'm telling is, while typing, fast typing or a sudden replying, that will happen for everyone with switching uppercase to smaller lowercase letters. That would happen obviously without seeing the monitor, and that would happen. So that is how this has happened, but since she is new to this environment and she didn't know, so that means it's a we are telling an angry or shouting or yelling like this indicates. So many people we may not know, but these are the things that we should carefully note while going to any environment. So we can say simply it's all precautions. So the key points to remember in a corporate etiquette. So always should use whenever with the when comes to corporate, we cannot maybe usually there will be a chat kind of thing, but in most cases we have to make convo through mail only. So there and all you cannot simply say in a one line reply. So that's what I am telling here. So people here always should add a thanks, please, if any, kindly. Those and all are very good ways, and we have to use some common good phrases also to make our conversation better and to make a better relationship with the people in corporate environment. And while speaking, so we may we may think like, so in text format, what people can judge the way of tone and other places, so that also matters a lot. The words kind, please, sorry, and all those things will add tone to that sentence and to tone to that message that what we are about to convey. And yeah, that is also another thing. So maybe unknowingly or supposed to peep into other cubicles or workstations or any other while checking any mails or other things, maybe that would happen. So since we are in that places, we are so near to near, that may happen. So that is also in one of the thing. And we should not gossip. And if we cannot expect a sudden personal relationship with the people in a corporate I want to say environment. So that also matters. We should stay in a particular limit until we came to know him or her personally. Yeah, so dining etiquette. This
Yeah,
all.
Kalyani, before that, yeah, can you kindly check if someone is waiting in the lobby?
Yeah. So is it done?
Yeah, I think it's done. Okay. Yeah, it's added.
Okay.
So before
Yeah.
entering to dining etiquette, so let me tell my point of view for corporate etiquette. So mostly, as Kalevani said, we will be learning along while entering into the corporate etiquette. So to avoid that awkward situation only, we need to know corporate etiquette is. So what I learned from my people in who are above me, like my team lead or my project lead, is that everything, if they want me to do any work, they would start with "Can you please," and they would end with "Thanks." So that's a really great gesture. But since I am from college and we used to call our professor sir and ma'am, and we are not used to this situation, like the people who are above us not pleasing, not using pleasing words with us, so they simply orders us like professors to will tell us to do this and that. So we are not supposed to we were not aware of that situation. So initially what I felt like, why are they telling please and sorry, I mean sorry or thanks to me, because I'm just a graduate, I joined here, so I didn't know that. So after that I learned that and I started using those words in my conversations also. So just wanted to convey that. Yeah, you can continue with dining etiquette.
Yeah, well pointed, Shak. So when it comes to dining etiquette, whatever the situation may come, so it is not only like with the people that we know, it is okay. But when we are going for an dine with the people that we are unknown, or when we are going for a dining etiquette with a professional set of professionals or any kind of business appraisal or proposal, there it is very important. So how we are behaving, how before that, it doesn't mean so this is my first time. We cannot make excuse like so this is my first time, or I may not know, until if the host is understandable or he is very broad minded, that is okay. But we may not expect with this for everyone. So making precautions and knowing things better according to our growth in our life and situation, it is very good to know. So yeah, so this is what I could say. So the everything, the actions that would we make will help the other person to judge how the person we are. So we cannot give place to that. So that is what I am telling. in basics of dining etiquette, when it comes to hotel, so I'm not telling it for it will be common for all the hotels or restaurants or dining areas. I'm telling you, there are some areas that people having some rules and regulations. So that I will be telling, if we are put into that particular situation, we should be capable of managing, and we should make ourselves in a certain position. These are the things will help us. So one thing is, we should not blow our food anyway. It may be any soup or any other thing. So we should not blow like we used to do in our home. So unknowingly this may happen, so we call conditional reflex and all, but we should not do, like we should be so conscious. And if anyone asks to pass the salt or pepper, we should always pass, what to say, together only. So we should always pass both salt and pepper. And this is very common point that we all know. We should chew while eating with mouth closed only. That is very common point. So I don't stress much in this. And while if anyone if you want to pass something to the person which he or she needed, we always start with the right. It doesn't mean you cannot share the food with the person who is sitting after your left. You can share, but if you want to opposite side of the table, you can always start with the right side of your sharing. So another thing, the knife and fork are supposed to be held with handles in hand, and the forefinger should be on top and the thumb under thumb, it should be underneath. But it has to be, it come with an experience, or we have to practice it, so like that it may happen. And we people are I'm not sure not all the people will do or not, or some people will have the habit, that I'm very sure. So we should not use our fingers to push the food into our plate. So that is that we should not do. So simply we can say, when goes for an dining with unknown people or a professional kind of thing, so we should be so conscious. That is one key point here. And this also, we should keep tear the bread with our hands only. So that is one thing. And we had to complete our food first, chewing the food first. Then if you want to drink, means we should conscious about whether we chewed completely or any remains are in our mouth. So just that point we also we had to keep in our mind. And this is then another point. So the very most thing, so we should not place our elbows in the table. So that is a very that's not an proper, and we should not practice like this. Maybe it will be tempting, but we should be conscious about, we should not we always should keep our hands on our lap only. So that's how we should do. And if you're going for any hotel, and we always used to put a napkin on lap, and if you want to make excusing yourself to the bathroom or anything, you should put the napkin on your chair. So that will indicate the waiter and another person, so that person will come and continues eating. So that will be a sign. So this is simple basics, like while eating, you may not constantly eating. Sometime you will have a call, or sometime you have to speak with some person, or sometime you have to make excuse yourself to the bathroom, or many things will happen. So that time, these are some basic cutlery rules that we can follow to help the waiter or person for better experience and for better understanding, we could say. So while starting, it should be like the spoon and fork, and as the knife and fork, or we can make it as a spoon and fork, and ready for the next plate. So this how, if you are waiting for next dish, this should be like this. And once you finish the food, it's like for everyone, you can place it centrally. And if you want to indicate the respect your hotel to make your opinion, so you can place it like to show the food was so excellent and the service was so excellent. And it's like while eating, you want to take a pass, so you can place your knife and fork like this. And if you're not satisfied with this food and service, means you can symbolize like this. And another common point, while going for dining, we used to have many type of food, and maybe it may be a food or dessert or starter, whatever it may be. So we should not use the same plate or fork or whatever to have another food. So that is the key point. So if you are having starter in the one plate, and you should not have the same, you should not continue for the next dish with the same plate. So that is also one of the manners that we should keep on our mind. And we should treat the waiter with utmost respect. So that is also one of the key point. And placing the food drink also, it is having like, when comes to food, you have to place it on your left. When comes to drink, you have to place it on your right. So this thing. And if you're going for any party and there you're supposed to have a drink, and that time you should hold your drink on a left. So why they are saying like this, if any person you're supposed to come, or suddenly they're coming, you have to give a handshake, so that time it would help. So normally it became an habit of holding a drink at left hand. So that is also, maybe we may see. So these are the things, why, so living our life at our own convenience is the bliss, like that we may think. But at some situations, we are supposed to follow all these rules and other things to portray ourselves better in a common place. Yeah,
Yeah.
Ashok.
So I'll talk about telephonic etiquette. Before that, while looking into the dining etiquette, the things I didn't follow before was I used to blow my food. I used to keep my hands on the table, my elbows on the table, and I am not used to spoons and all. So I couldn't get the food correctly using spoons. So sometimes I may use my fingers. I am not aware of that. So maybe other person sitting with me or eating with me might feel awkward or might feel what is he really doing and all. But if you are eating with your friends or family, that's not even a matter. Just eat whatever the way you want. But this is especially for when you're going for a business meeting or corporate meeting, or even some special dining place, or even a family dining in a very reputed restaurant and all. These things should be considered, because there you should maintain the class and all. So let's jump into the telephonic etiquette. So it's a really interesting topic, and there is so many flaws we used to do now, but we are not aware of that. We may think, okay, what's the problem with that? So let's jump straight into the topic. So whatever the type of phone, maybe it may be a business call, it may be just having a friend conversation with your friend, or having a talking with your client, or even talking with your boss. You should follow these etiquettes. So next slide, Kalan.
Yeah.
Slide. Yeah. So these are the points you should be aware of. So if you're talking to your client, or if you are a business person going to talk about your leader or some other businessman, you should know who you are talking to. Okay. You should not have any vague idea, or you should not extempore. You should be prepared, and you should talk really well, and you should be precise and clear as much as possible. And never call Kale, I think is someone joining.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah.
Okay. So, yeah. So if don't call anyone at odd hours. Okay, it's really felt awkward. If it's really that urgent, just give it a message. If he is not replying within 30 minutes or 1 hour, just if it's an emergency, you can call. Obviously, that's not comes into this. That's an exemption. But unless or otherwise, if it's an emergency, you should not call anyone at odd hours. Maybe like someone will be calling like morning 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. or at night 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. It's really not an appreciable thing. So the main thing, the third point, what people do is we should be calling people continuously. That's really a bad thing. So you don't know what the other person is doing. Maybe you may think he or she is free, but he or she may be occupied with some work. Maybe a family came over, or maybe the other person is working something, or other person is taking a bath. So, there may be a lot of reasons, or in meeting everything. So just give it a call. If he or she doesn't pick up the phone, wait for at least 6 hours. So even if they didn't call you back within 6 hours, then you can call back. Okay. Then if you feel it's an emergency, just give it a call. If he or she didn't pick up your phone, just leave a message. Hey, I called you for this reason. It's an emergency. Can you call me back? So maybe you don't know what the emergency other person might be in, right? So even while you're talking with any people, just make your content crisp and clear. Okay, don't play with words, don't blabber, don't beat around the bush. Okay, just go confront them what you're trying to do. And another very important point is, don't hold the a second person long. Okay, maybe your parents may come over or something, some urgent work you may be facing while you're talking. Just you may want to put them on hold, but don't take it too long. Okay, so if there are just disturbances around like TVs, radios, etc., just clear the disturbance. Okay, so other person might not feel convenient. Okay, or even if like you are talking for just a business opportunity or a job interview, everything, the other person might not want to get like they might not want to wait, or they might want to feel like they are the important one. If you give importance to other person, they would literally create a bad impression and they not consider you for future plans as well. So Kale, can you move to the next slide?
Yeah.
So yeah, this thing, caller tunes. So we are used to have caller tunes and ringtones with us because we like the song or we like the tone. So we used to set it as caller tunes. So it is okay for our personal or private life unless we are entering into corporate world or a business or a startup or anything professional. So so the other person might not feel good about it, or they may it makes them to create impression on you. Okay, they may judge you. So you don't have to give an opportunity for them to judge you. Who are they to judge you, right? So you don't have to give an opportunity for them. So just make it as plain as possible, and you can't force your taste of music to other person, right? So that's maybe that may feel a comedy or a awkward one. So another one is, don't take too long to pick up a call. The courtesy is you have to pick up the call within 3 rings. Okay, if you're having phone with you and if you are available to take the phone, have it, attend the call within 3 rings. So if you miss a call, then call the other person. Maybe it might be emergency. Okay, so whenever you're free, just call it back. And if you are having network issues between the call, just treat it wisely. Okay, don't become rude or not, because you don't know, maybe other person is trying to tell you or other person is trying to listen to you. Maybe the problem with this your side or the other person's side or network side, you can't blame anyone, right? You should be first be patient and wise and let them know, okay, you are having some issues hearing them, or you can't hear them clearly. Okay, so the next point, we are all facing, even in our meeting or in a job interview or anything, our voice usually used to break, right? So it's better to avoid like your voice is breaking. Instead of that, you can say like the line is cracking or there is some disturbance in the line. Okay, so you can't like blame other person, or you can try to avoid the negativity or blaming other person. Okay, he or she may not take it so good. Okay, if instead of saying your voice is breaking, you can use these lines. It may be a good impact for you. And in the conference or in the call, while cutting up the call, you should be like, okay, so these are all the things we have discussed. You can give a quick summary, or you can tie all the loose ends, and you can ask everyone's final words, and then you can cut the call. So these are all the small things you should be aware of. And we can go to the next slide, Alex. Yeah, so this is just a glimpse of it. So the person calling is telling, hello ma'am, good morning, my name is Saina, I am calling from Zero Pro, I am speaking with Sindhu. So the other person is responding, hi Saina, yes, Sindhu here, can you please tell me what can I do for you? Okay, so why this example is given, like when you're calling one person or a stranger or a thing, just you should confirm, you should start with the greeting and you should confirm that is the person you're talking is literally that person. Okay, maybe other his or her brother may take, or his or her parents might take, anyone may can attend. So you just have to confirm, is this the person you are going to talk about? Okay, so before directly jump, another 2 points I want, like before directly jumping into the call, you should ask, is it the correct time to talk about? So can we talk about now, or can we talk, are you busy, is it correct time to talk? You can ask any in any manner, but it should be in professional and pleasing way. Okay, so these are all the points I have to talk about telephonic etiquette. So we can go to the next topic. Yeah, Kalai will be talking about email etiquette.
Yeah, so this is the most common thing that we all used to check for every day, and maybe in some case at least weekly, twice a time we used to send an email for other person. So what are the social media apps that may come to have a chat, and so email, the professionalism that email has, nothing would never disappear. So here the things, when it comes to professionalism, email will play a very big role. So either it may be in CEO of the company or an intern of the company. So whoever will be daily getting mails and have to reply mails. If a person is on professional, whatever is working in a public or private, what are the companies? The email will be a very big, he has to do on often in a day. So that's how it is happening. So in that time, we should maintain some ethics and rules we should follow in replying a mail. So that is very important. So before that, we are using it and we are getting thousands of mails in a day, but we are not very sure how many mails are written in a proper way and how many mails are making us a day good. So even a single message can make our day feel good. So we are replying is also having that much value. So we should have a keen focus on it. So the first and foremost thing is we have to maintain a professional tone. So we should not use any other. So simply for reply, most people will use RPY or RLY, whatever they feel they could use like this. For tomorrow, they'll have a shortcut. What are the things that? But this cannot be a part. Even it is time saving, we cannot take into this professional. We cannot take into this mailing and all. So another thing is employ a clear subject line. So that subject line only will make other person to open a mail and to reply. If we simply put any mail but with a low prioritized or unclear subject, but the content which was written and the purpose that we are sending a mail may be high prioritized. So we may not know of this 1,000 mails whether he will open or not, he or she will open or not. So the subject matters a lot. And we should use punctuation, and also we should not use punctuation often. So wherever we need, we should use it to make a clear, to convey a clear message and to separate the ideas and all. So this is also a very big thing. And another, practice correct grammar. So we all know that it as a language is just for a way of communication between the two people only. But having a good grammar is also very important. Since we have studied an educated person, so it is okay to have a grammar mistake at first, but when it comes to a professional, it is not to be okay. So that also very, very important point. And include a salutation. So like whether the person, we should know whether the person is Miss or Mr. or Mrs. whatever it is, we should include it properly. So that also very important. If you're mailing, if that person is known, or if that person we have known as details clearly, means that is okay. But in most cases, we would mail person to with whom we unknown people only we used to mail. When it comes to mainly corporate world, and we may not know who the client will be or who the manager or who the boss will be or who the person will be, but we have to send a message, send a mail. So that time it is another point that we should include a correct salutation. And another thing is conclude with a signature. So it is very important. So the signature, you can take it as an example like our name and where we are from. It means where we are from in that particular organization, in which department from we are, and what is our designation, and what's our contact and mail. Other things we should be included. So that is very important. Without the signature, no mail is considered as a valid one. So replying in single line, it is also not a good one thing. And another thing is check the recipient's name. So before telling, and many things when comes to we know we can say many people use DH, many people will use TH, and whatever may happen. So that is very important thing. Once it is done, it cannot be. When we are sending mail or having conversation with our own friends or own people, that is okay. But when it comes to a corporate things, we have to focus everything on keenly. So what are the mistake that would we do, they will make it as a will create a bad impression on us, and there is a high amount of chances will be there that a simple mistake can that help people to frame ourselves. So that we should not do. And we should use sentence case. So when we either it may be a mail, a simple, a small, that is okay, simple or whatever it is. A new sentence, whatever the sentence that we are starting newly, and the first letter should start with a capital letter, that we all should know. But we should never forget to do the same while emailing. And another thing is, if any nouns, then we should also use as a capital letter for that pronoun. So that also we should focus. And another thing is include acceptable forms only. So there are many fonts are available, and many forms would look nice and trendy and all those things. But when it comes to email, we should send a mail with a standard font or an acceptable font or somewhat kind of readable kind of fonts only. So that we should do. And another thing is we should include hyperlinks. So instead of putting, so this is the link, there you can go and find these details. Instead of that, you are telling, so this kind of, so with that, so it is actually the sentence is also conveyed, and the corresponding details which is given in the link also given. So instead of putting a link, you can use hyperlinks. So that is a good practice. And note any attachment. So we used to attach many things, but we should never if it is a one or two, or at least if the purpose of the mail is also attach something, means that is okay. But adding to the content, we may supposed to add any attachments or many attachments. That time we should never forget to tell that person, so we have attached this for this purpose. We should tell them. And another thing is, in corporate world, it is very most important thing. We should indicate that person out of office reply. So that will be automated in all the organizations. So the only thing is we had to use it and had to enable it properly. And another thing is we have to always acknowledge a mail. So it doesn't mean if you are opening a mail but that is not completed, or that cannot be done immediately, at least we can tell the opposite person, so yeah, I received the mail, or I have checked the mail, so I have seen it, I'll reply shortly, or I'll send you once it is done. Any acknowledgements related to the search situation, we have to acknowledge it. That is a very important. So there is a rule always, once any person mailed us, within 24 hours we have to reply, the maximum 24 hours. So that also we should give more importance. And be courteous and don't jump into the contest exactly. So while so I want this, I need to do, you need to do this, and I need within this time. So just simply saying this time, just greet him or her, and let's say positive or hope anytime. Maybe in this pandemic, let's say we are asking, hope you are all doing well, and connect up make some relationship with them, relationship kind of message. Then you can tell him, so this need to be done, and kindly do this within the time, and you can explain what is the critical situation. So that would make the person to give a positive impact, and this can make the things even if it is need to be done immediately, there are high amount of possibility chance to this kind of words will support, or it will change your mind, or what other things can happen. So adding this kind of pleasing words would not cost anything. So that we can do while speaking or while writing, whatever it may be. And proofread your message, that is very important. So when we are mailing for any important person, or when we are mailing any important thing, so that time double checking is very important. So that also we need to be done.
Yeah. So it's time for bathroom etiquette. So before that, two things I want to convey. So for acknowledging emails, if the acknowledgement just consists of only thanks, you don't have to acknowledge that because it will be spamming their inbox. Okay. So only if you want to say thanks, don't need to acknowledge that. And another thing for students who are attending this, if you are going to send your resume or any kind of your professional documents to your college or your placement cell, you should be naming it properly, maybe with your name and your resume. Just don't my resume or just untitled document. It should not be like that because the person or the company who is downloading will know that. So that's the main point you have to consider. So next, go on to the bathroom etiquette. Bathroom etiquette, it might not seem that much important, but it's really really important. While in colleges and schools, we used to use bathrooms for talking about or talking about the staffs who they behaved bad with us or talking bad with or gossiping everything. We used to use bathroom for that. But in when coming into everyone comes into corporate life once, right? So for that you should be professional and neat as well. So next slide, Kalin. Yeah. So you should always close the door. Maybe this may sound like no brainer. We all used to close, right? But this is not what happens. We may think that the door is closed, but it may not be closed, or the latch is not being done. So you should always double check that because the other person might not do. Maybe he or she not be following the etiquette and he's just been knocking the door. So that's a problem. So check first if you are just going to enter any restroom or any bathroom. So you have to check if anyone is there or anyone is being the room is being occupied. Okay. So always flush the toilet and cover the evidence. So we all know what that is. So and another thing is if you want like if there is every toilet is free and only one toilet is occupied, just don't use the toilet next to the occupied one because the other person might not feel well or it may feel awkward situation to both of you. So use another free emptied toilet. So next slide, Kalan. So yeah, clean up after yourself. This is obviously we should know. Some persons are not doing and we all know that we may have felt it. Okay, so what the heck is this guy doing? Why he's not doing everything? We may have come across this everything in our everyday life. And don't hog the mirrors. Okay, for ladies it's fine, you can refresh it and you can put your makeup in your restroom and it's expected. So is Kalai someone joining?
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so don't hog the mirrors. So you can put your makeup, but if someone is waiting for you, use the makeup. Or you want to use the makeup after you, like don't dilly dally or mind. Don't occupy too much time. Okay, just quickly finish that and don't wet the surface. Okay, so we used to in our homes we used to wash our legs and all in our home bathroom. That's okay, that's fine. But while in office or using in any public, in any restaurant and all, we should be maintaining this. So you should be you should not wash your legs also. Okay, yeah, that's the thing you should be considering. So that's a small thing about bathroom etiquette. So next slide, Kaling. Yeah, so simply putting, this is all we have to convey this now. But etiquette is not was the thing you should be like. It's not an overnight achievement. Like you can't do it within a one night or within a day. It comes with constant practice and all. So just be conscious about what you're doing and where you're doing. It will eventually come to you. And everything what we discussed so far and so forth is not, we are not aware of. Okay, the main thing what we wanted to convey is everyone knows these things. Like we know how to eat, we know how to do drink, we know how to email, type text, etc. But it's like how we are implementing. It's like, is it we are implementing or accidentally we are going back to our routine and we are just using it as casual method, right? So we can't be like with our friends and family while we are surrounding in a professional surrounding. So that's what we want to convey this through this session. So next slide, Kalin.
Yeah.
So as we want to quote the legend Bruce Lee's one, knowledge will give you power, but character is respect. So as I said in the initially, you may have characters, you may have skills, but you don't have. Sorry, you may have knowledge, you may have skills, but if you don't have manners and discipline, you are literally zero for many people, right? So the success of this virtual session, virtual meet, depends upon how you are going to implement etiquette in your life and etiquette in your future self. So next slide, Karan.
Yeah.
So that's it for today, guys. So I hope you may most of I believe most of the etiquette we discussed today are you are already aware of, but we just wanted to give you that you should follow it. So if you are having any questions or if you want to add any etiquette, it's time for you. Just please provide your feedback also. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, you can share your real-time experience or the thing that we have, many things we have missed, and we have listed out only a 6 type of etiquettes only. There are many things in our day-to-day life. If you want to add something that will really helpful for others or that would the people who are not aware of, maybe can look into it and correct for further time. Yeah.
Kalevani, may I speak now?
Yeah, it is audible, Rakshana. You can please.
Yeah, I actually wanted to raise my hands, but I really don't know where that option is. I would like to thank Chandrasekhar for this etiquette. I really had no clues about this. Thank you for this takeaway, Chandrasekhar. And also, I would like to thank Kalaivani and Arshak firstly, because this is a very sensitive and a very important topic. As you said, like all of us know what an etiquette is, but the question is how are we implementing it? So that's a very great session by both of you. Like I think I actually wanted to add a few points to it. There is also this thing called perfume etiquette. Like for example, we have to consider others while applying perfume. Like they're not very comfortable with the smell, so we have to use only in moderation, like very minimal quantity, and we shouldn't make people around us sick. Also, you have to consider the occasion for what you're going, or the weather or the time, and like you have to remember where you're going, and you have to wear your perfume accordingly. So see, when you get the feel that your perfume has got old, then please check the expiry date and throw it away, because that can even cause serious health issues, and also make the other people nauseous. And please don't apply it on a public transport. Like if you want the perfume to stay longer, then spray the perfume right after you shower, and initially apply some unscented lotion or Vaseline, and then use your perfume so that it stays long. And you have to spray it only on your pulse points, like the wrist area. Those are called the pulse points. And don't never shake your perfume bottle, and don't rub your wrists after applying perfume. Like you can also add fragrance to your hair, like that'll create a very good first impression. And also I'll add about um gym etiquette. I'm not sure how many of us go to the gym, but just in case, if you go to the gym, please use deodorant. Gym is a place we work out, and all of us sweat. Mostly all the gyms have AC. Even if AC is available or not, please use a deodorant. And if you see, for example, if you take your dumbbell, please put it back in place. Don't take it, use it, leave it there itself, and then move on. We have to follow all of these basic things. And also, please use a clean towel to clear your equipment after you work out. Don't use the same towel as the one you use for your face and also for the equipment. Please use two different towels. And also share the equipment. Like, see, you would have already worked out in 4 different equipments, and then you're moving on to the 5th one. And if somebody else is already working out, so please don't be in a hurry, or don't stare at them, or don't be creepy, so that they'll be forced to come out of the equipment. I guess there will be a lot of equipments out there. You can go to different ones. Don't stare or stand behind them and wait for them to get up. That will be really bad. And please don't drop your dumbbells. Like, handle it with care, and wash your gym clothes. I know a lot of us use jeans twice or something, but that's fine. But please wash your gym clothes twice. And if you want to chat, please move away from the equipment. Like, don't stand beside the equipment, or don't stand on the equipment and start a small conversation. You always have to talk only when you are not in an equipment. And then, yeah, if you want to, a gym is a very good place to network as well. Like, there are a lot of like-minded people. Like, everybody is focusing on fitness, so a little goes a very long way. So smile and say hi to people, even though you don't know them much. Like, you can, and if somebody gets down the equipment when you are about to get onto the equipment, say thank you. All of this can make a huge difference. And I think also etiquette starts from the very own place, our home. Like, if you have to get up very early in the morning, don't wake up everyone with your alarm. Don't keep such irritating tones. So you can actually slow down. As soon as you realize that your alarm is hitting, you can immediately turn it off, or you can slow down the volume. And I had actually done this mistake every single time. Like, I usually keep the lights on and I work. And my mom always scolds me, no, my sleep is getting disturbed, please turn on the lights. I never agree to her. I say, kanna mudittu thoonguma. Then I really understood that it was a serious mistake which shouldn't be done, and it's a very basic quality that you shouldn't disturb other people's sleep. And also, we do this. We unplug somebody else's phone from the charger, and then we put our own phone. Please wait for the other person's phone to get fully charged and then put your phone. Or else, if you're in need, just ask them, ma or pa, I need to get my phone onto the charger. All of this starts from our home, so we will be no less if we ask our parents or our siblings that we need something. And we can always practice thank you or sorry to our kith and kin. If we can't say sorry or thank you to our own people, then we'll not be able to do it all of a sudden. So also I had wanted to talk about this, a very important social etiquette, that is assertive communication. Like, I know that when there is a discussion, you can always put your views without being aggressive. Like, it's not possible that always every conversation will go on smoothly. There can be different views, different perspectives. So in such a case, you have to put your views without being aggressive. You can say, yeah, I can totally relate with you, but what I feel is, that is how you have to start the conversation. And also, you shouldn't give up so easily. That means that you don't respect yourself. But at the same time, you have to put your views across, being very assertive. You can criticize objectively, but without you can take the criticism objectively, but without impacting your confidence. Somebody's criticizing you, that shouldn't get into your head, and you shouldn't lose your confidence. And also, you have to accept compliments the same way, that you shouldn't let that get into your head. And you can always stand up for what you believe is right, and not what you want others to believe is right. Like, you know that you were wrong. When you know that you are wrong, there is nothing wrong in accepting, oh, sorry. That that is nothing wrong in saying sorry or apologizing. And if somebody is offering something or something, and you're not interested in doing that, you never have to feel guilty about saying no. You can always say no, that you are not interested in doing that, but in a very polite way, in a very formal way. And also, considering I think restaurant etiquette, that was a very good. I saw very interesting points from your PPT, Arshak and Kalai. I did every other mistake that was there in your PPT. Like, I used to sit cross-legged, keep my arms on the table. I did every other mistake. And also, I had actually wanted to add this point. When you are with your when you are on a business meeting or something, please don't take picture of your food and update status or something. That is very rude or arrogant. That is not something that is appreciated. And also, don't tell somebody else how much you spent on something. And if you feel that the food is not cooked properly, you can always call the waiter and inform him very politely that you are not happy with the food. But you can't do that on a business meeting. Let's just consider that the host is somebody else is hosting you. Even if you're not happy with the food, you can silently call the waiter and inform, but you shouldn't make a fuss about it in front of other people, because the host will not feel very good about it. He'll feel bad. Ayo nama okay, we want nama aasya panla nanchome, but people are not happy. So that is very that's rude to start with. And also, please don't have business conversations on the dining table. You can have small talks, but definitely not business conversation. Yeah. And if you are the host, you have to plan your payment well in advance. Sometimes they don't accept GPay or something, they have only cards, something like that. If you are the host, you have to plan it well ahead of time. You shouldn't make a fuss at the last moment. That is a dishonor to your guests. And you have to, when you're going out for a professional meeting, do dress nicely. And also, see, I'm not sure if you people noticed how I started this conversation, but if you had noticed, I started by complimenting Chandrasekhar and Harshak and Kalaivani, because they were the previous speakers. Every single time you start a conversation, start with a compliment. Definitely there will be something or the other to compliment about other people. You can always start the conversation with a compliment, because that's more formal and a bit polite, and it'll also make other people happy about that. And I've also seen in a lot of Instagram pages, like if you're ordering from Instagram pages, people will ask, what is the price? PP, price please. I've seen so many comments. That is not how you ask for a price, or that is not how you want to order something. If you're really interested in their product, you can always go to their DM section, and you can always say, hey, hi, I'm a very big fan of your work. I've been following your work for a very long time, and I'm very much interested in making a purchase, or accordingly, whatever it is, you can say that. I'm very much interested in making a purchase a purchase from your shop. Could you tell me the price of this product, please? That is how you start, because that will also make the business person more interested in providing you with the best, and it'll also make them encouraged to do more. You can always or you can always praise a person. Like everybody, all of us work for recognition and recognition, so it's better that you start with a compliment or praise a person. Also, you can always start a conversation, hi, I hope you're doing good. That is how you start. And as I said, comment on something that's very pleasant or very good about the person. So let us assume that you're randomly bumping into a known person, like on the elevator or somewhere in the mall. You can always have a very small talk. You can always have a small talk. Like you can start out with the weather, and you can also talk about the traffic, because it's a very common topic in the metropolitan cities. You can talk about weather, you can talk about traffic, or sports and current affairs, like the Olympics is going now. You can talk about that. You can tell how proud you are about what our country is achieving. And you have to talk about uncontroversial political topics. No, don't bring something that's a controversy. And if you are attending an event or something, you can always talk about how generous the hosts are. And if you have a common friend or relative, you can check up on them also. I hope he is doing good. Something like that. You can talk about history, arts and crafts, your favorite movie, your literature. You can talk about anything. But please remember that you should never talk about politics, age, your personal life, your religion, terrorism, or about your salary or wages. Please don't do that. It is not about a small talk is not only about the words you use. It is more about your body language. You can always smile. Now it's COVID time. It's not encouraged to greet people by shaking your hands, but still You can always say a formal hello, hi by, doing the formal thing. Or you can also greet other people by shaking your hands and then smiling at them. If you are really, you can show interest that you can show that you're really interested in other people's talk by leaning a bit forward and listening to them, nodding to whatever they say. Yeah, here and there you can say, yeah, true. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah, fine. Something like that. Something that you think is appropriate in that situation. See, to be a better communicator, first we need to be a very good listener. You got to listen what other people have to say, and then only you can respond appropriately. Like sometimes there are a few barriers to listening. Like we get so judgmental when other person starts talking even before listening to what they have to say exactly. So wait for some time, give the other people some time, listen to what they have to say. And and also I had noted this somewhere else also. Like when writing a very formal email or something, you should never use the words ask, get, or need. Like you can always use, if you want to ask, use the word ask, you can say inquire. Or get, when you want to say get, you can always say receive. Or when you want to say I am in need of this, you can say I request you to provide me with this. That is how you can do. And just a minute. Yeah, and there are also a basic house rules that I had noted to talk about. See, we can always practice this at our home. Like if you open it, you close it. If you turn it on, you turn it off. If you unlock it, please lock it. If you borrow, you return. If you mess, you clean up. Like these are something that we can follow from our own lives. It all starts with from our own our own place, right? And also I think I missed a few points while talking about the dining etiquette. As I said, you have to always greet your server with eye contact and then with a broad smile. You can also say, you have to say your order very clearly. Like if you're not sure of what to order, you can always ask for a few extra minutes. Please don't confuse the waiter, and if it creates a mess, then you will be angry and you'll show it on the server. Please don't do that. And say thank you when you're served. And so please don't be so loud or disruptive, so that you ruin other person's dining experience also. And please put your phones away, tidy the table after you finish your meal, and please leave a tip. If you are the host, please, at least for a formal, we know that we tip according to our comfort. But when you're in a business meeting and if you are the host, you have to tip a minimum of 10 to 15% on your bill amount, and that's the standard that is followed everywhere. This is a very interesting fact that I learned very recently. But when you're going out with your family or something, you do it according what you wish is correct at that point. But in a business meeting, please make sure that you serve at least 10 to 15%. And if you're the host, and also email etiquettes. We're talking about, I think Kalaivani covered almost all of the points, but I think, I'm sorry if I'm repeating something. I just made notes of all this, so I'm just repeating it. So if you are late while replying or something, you shouldn't say I'm sorry that I'm late. No, you can always use thank you for your patience. And if you want somebody else to do something for you, you can always say, could you please do this for me? Also, if someone says thank you, you can always you don't have to always say that you're welcome. You can say I'm always happy to help. If there is a scenario that it's not only about email etiquette, you can always use this in a verbal conversation also. Like if somebody else is talking about something and you want to say that you know what you're doing and you think it's the best, you can always say, I think it would be best if we can do this or this, something like that. And if you want to say, no, I can't explain it in its words, you can always say, it would be easier if we could discuss in discuss in person. You can't say that no, I can't put it in words, it's a very complicated thing, call me. No, not like that. You can say, I think it would be better or easier if we can discuss it in person. And if you want to say, if you want to ask the other person, like, do you understand, I mean, like, I think it makes sense. If you want to say something like that, you can always say, please let me know if you have any questions. I'll always be happy to help you. And if you want to, if you're in a very emergency situation and you want to get the update very soon while sending a mail also, you can always say, I am hopefully expecting an update within 24 hours. You can specify so that the other person will understand that you are in an emergency situation. And see, we're all human beings, and to err is human, right? If you make any mistake and somebody else points you out that, you can't say, yeah, sorry, my bad, I totally missed that. No, that's not formal. You can say, ha, nice catch, I have updated the file and I have sent it back, thanks for letting me know. You can say, thank you for letting me know, I have corrected this mistake and this is a new file. That you can say it that way. And if you are busy and if you have an appointment or something, you can very clearly, if you want to tell your boss that you have to leave early, you can say, you don't have to ask. Like, the professional or the corporate environment will not expect you to explain anything. Like, they'll only ask you the time and date you want to leave. Like, I will need to leave for so and so at this and this time, thanks for understanding. That is enough. I didn't know this for a very long time, and my sisters who are there in the corporate told me this. The bosses or the people above the hierarchy will never want to know our reasons, that they are not interested in our reasons. It's just that they're using it for documenting purposes, and it's enough if you explain, I want to leave by this time, for personal issue, something like that. And also, yeah, I think I don't know, I came across this, so I'm just sharing this. Like, we'll sometimes visit parents of newborn babies. Like, we might have our relatives who have got a newborn baby, or somebody, if we are in the corporate environment, and if our bosses or our colleagues are parents of newborns, like, there are a few etiquettes to be followed. Like, if you can visit only if you are invited. If that person invites you, you can go. You shouldn't go unannounced. You shouldn't go without, hey, I'm coming. No, that's not very appropriate. And you can't visit them if you're unwell. Like, even if it's just a cough or cold, the newborn is more prone to infections, so please avoid going. Even if they invite you, you can politely refuse, saying, no, we'll catch up soon, or we'll meet at this time, some so and so. Like, and please keep your visits short. Like, don't overstay. And also, please ask before you pick up the baby. If you want to pick up the baby, please ask them. Please wash your hands, and please don't wear strong perfume. Or men, if you're a man, please don't wear aftershave and all, because that tends to irritate the baby. And please know when to give the baby back. If the baby starts crying, please don't, hey, achacho, ma, don't do that to the baby. You have to understand the baby's needs and give it back to the parents. And if they are newborns, I know there are a lot of us, like, if even I have done it as a thing. If the baby is too small, I unknowingly said this, oh, she's too tiny, so cute. I meant it in a very complimenting way, but that the parent was actually offended, and I got to know about that after a very long time. But I really didn't mean it in a way. So please don't talk about how the baby looks, or how something like that. That is very offensive. We never know what goes on in their brain. So please don't do that, and please don't give unsolicited advice. And also, not only about the baby, please don't comment on the mother. Mostly the mothers are mothers tend to put on weight, something like that. Please don't comment on it. Even if it's our own sisters, or something, please don't do that. There is something called postpartum depression, and that's real. That can affect them so much. Please don't do that. And we have to know when it's time to leave. Go stay for half an hour or 45 minutes, and then please come back. I think I'm done with it, and I think I've explained everything that I've made note of. I'm sorry
Yeah,
for taking too long.
no problem, Rakshana. Thank you so much. It was really a great points. So thank you for sharing with us. Actually, even it was better than session, I think. So thank you, Rakshana. Thank you for sharing all the points with us. So if any other participants want to convey any point, you can come forward, or we can end up. Yeah, yes, Chandrasekhar, please go on.
I just want to give a feedback to you guys. You guys are doing so much amazing work. As a junior, I feel that this is one of the most important things one must get to know. In your career, your technical skills and your knowledge will not be sufficient to grow up, to come up the ladder, or to succeed in your personal life. You need some sort of life skills, some sort of behavioral skills, and some kind of skills that we cannot be taught in schools or through books. These skills have to be learned by us, and these skills are ought to be practiced by us. So I really love the work by you guys, Zero Pro community. You guys are doing something that the other people fail to see. Technical skills is not the most important thing. The way we talk to people, the way we do things, the way we act is the main thing. It's the attitude and the yoga. You guys are developing it, and you guys are brilliant in your work. And I would like to thank you guys for doing such things and keep on doing. Don't mind the numbers. You guys will be the most successful people, guy, and the most successful people in a few more years or a few more weeks or months. But you guys are doing the most amazing work, and I thank you for that and for teaching us also as a junior.
Yeah, that's really so much encouraging, Chandrasekhar. Yeah, thank you for this. We really need it. So hope it would be useful for everyone. So really appreciate everyone joining us today. So until then, we'll meet next week with another interesting session. So thank you all. Have a good Sunday night. Sleep well. So bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.